Hello, Amanda. I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of MaXXXine. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them, just to see if this was worth it or not, in the description box down below. There you're going to find my spoiler-free review because I like to give you guys such options. And giving that quick disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, MaXXXine is the third installment in the X film series by Ty West. We had the original film, that is X, that came out in March of 2022, and the prequel Pearl that came out in September of 2022. MaXXXine was announced just after the release of Pearl, and now we finally have it. And MaXXXine is also supposed to work as the end of this trilogy, although it has been said that Ty West may be working on a fourth film, but he is waiting for the reception of this film. So who knows if we are ever going to be seeing a fourth film about this story. Now, the film follows in 1985. MaXXXine is set up for fame and success in Hollywood, but she is being targeted by a mysterious killer. To give a brief summary, the film opens with MaXXXine doing an audition for a film called The Puritan Part 2. After she leaves the audition, we see the rest of her life that she is still doing adult films, but she is trying to get out of that industry. And she has some friends in the industry, and we see her life. What has been of her in the last 6 years, since this one is 6 years after the events of X. But while all of this is happening, there is a serial killer called the Night Stalker, and MaXXXine starts to get targeted by a mysterious killer. Her friends start to get killed, and the police start to believe that she could be the one that is guilty. But at the same time, a private detective is following her, and he gives to her some evidence of what happened in X, making it seem as that she was guilty for all the murders of X. And now she has to deal with not only the fact that her friends are being killed, but also with the mysterious killer. But of course, it's all correlated. In no way, shape, or form, the film makes you believe that is the Night Stalker. It's said pretty early that this is a copycat and they're just trying to make it look like it is the Night Stalker. And he even gets caught at the end, but we never even see his face. So that's like a completely, I wouldn't even say a side plot because it doesn't really do much. But that's essentially the film, and the plot twist is that the mysterious killer is her dad. And he just wanted to bring her girl back home because the devil is in Hollywood and it took away his daughter. And he's now trying to do his own film, but she ends up killing him, and she becomes famous because she gets the part from The Puritan Part 2. She gets the lead and she becomes famous. So we see that at the end, although she has some troubles, she did whatever it took for her to be famous, and that include killing her father. Now, getting into the review, I don't even know how to start. I had high expectations for this film. I was very excited. I remember after finishing Pearl, when I saw the announcement of MaXXXine, I was very, very excited. I have been dying to watch this, waiting and waiting, and unfortunately it did not fulfill my expectations. I don't know if that's a me problem, but I have read plenty of other people's reactions, and I see that we are on the same page in some stuff. Now, I'm going to start by saying that the film nailed perfectly the visual aspect of the 80s when it came to the makeup, the costumes, the setting. It looks amazing. Ty West, he does a pretty good job when he wants to mimic that a film that is set on a certain period of time, it looks like it was made on that period of time. The way that the camera works, the way that it's edited, everything, even the practical effects, they look from the 80s. You will not get tricked to think that this film is from the 80s, but at the same time, it does feel like it. So points for that. I really like it that it makes it a little bit cheesy, I'm not gonna lie, but it's part of the 80s, so it has its own charm. But my biggest issue with this film is the narrative and the story itself. It has way too many details and subplot that at the end it doesn't matter. For example, the Night Stalker. I get that we have the mention and the constant mention and presence of the Night Stalker, but he's never a real threat to MaXXXine or to the characters that we see throughout the film. And the fact that they threw right away the fact that it was a copycat and not the actual Night Stalker takes away from that sense of fear. Because right away you know that is another person, and logic tells you that most likely is her father. I could say that at 50 minutes I tell my boyfriend, because he went with me because he saw X and Pearl, so he wanted to see the conclusion. I told him, I bet you everything that is her dad. And he looks at me and he's like, I am thinking the same, but I am hoping that it's not, because I don't want that to happen, because it will be stupid. Yeah, we weren't proved wrong. We were right from the beginning, which leads me to my second point. The plot is a little bit predictable. The fact that her friends are going to get killed as a way to get to her, I saw it coming a mile away. And also they appear for a very short amount of time. If you're looking to see Halsey and Lily Collins a lot in this film, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't think that they even get like 5 minutes of screen time. Like, they are very quick. Like, they appear and they leave. That's it. That Giancarlo Esposito and Kevin Bacon are the ones that get the most, because even the police detectives that are behind MaXXXine because they believe that she could be involved into the murders of her friends, they don't even appear that much. Like, everything is solely focused on MaXXXine. She is the main character. But I do feel that they focus way too much on her, and the side characters, they don't get any development. So that was probably my biggest issue. The music was very, very good. I really like the music from the 80s, so I wasn't expecting them to fail in that part, because the music from the 80s is amazing. So at least that was a good thing. But when it came to the general plot and that plot twist, because I say plot twist because really it's not that hard to predict, it's the biggest fail, and it has a lack of substance. Doing a comparison with X and Pearl, this one feels even a little bit generic, because for me X, although it's something similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in terms of the aesthetic and maybe a little bit of the way that things happen, it still has its own charm and it feels unique. And Pearl is the same thing. Even Pearl can be considered a character study, and it's amazing. But here, I don't really know what happened, to the point that the film even feels unnecessary. I didn't feel at any moment that this film was crucial to end the story of MaXXXine. You could have just easily left X just as it ended. You don't need it to go deeper into what happened to her after, completely honest. I was happy for her, like she finally got it, and she demonstrated that she was willing to do anything and everything in order to get her fame. That is what she wanted. But I don't really feel that was necessary to see all of this. Being completely honest, I feel that they could have done it way differently. I feel that they could have made the viewer feel that it was actually the Night Stalker, the one that it was behind MaXXXine, and then do the reveal that it was actually her father all the time. Because being completely honest, the fact that you kind of know from the start that it's a copycat and not the actual Night Stalker is like, oh, so it's going to be another guy. And who could make sense? Her father. Being completely honest, I didn't saw any other character. Probably if another character was behind, maybe could have been more shocking. Which brings me to another point. For me, this film lacked that sense of shock. That climax feeling, for me, felt flat. I didn't feel that atmosphere of tension, fear. Doing a comparison with X, that build up of the tension once the action starts, when Pearl and Howard, they start killing, and Pearl gets in the bed with MaXXXine, and all of those moments that were pretty tense. Here, I didn't feel that. And honestly, I was trying my best to find positive things about the film, so I did find them, for me at least. Visually stunning, makeup, hair, the music, all of those aspects, they were pretty good. For me, the fail is just the story. I think that they could have done it way better, and I feel that with how good was X and Pearl, the expectations probably were too high, but I mean, that's what happens when you do two very good films. You want to end it on the top, not down. So it was unfortunately, but I didn't hate the film. I didn't have a bad time. I still did enjoy it, but definitely I don't think that I'm going to rewatch it as much as I rewatch X and Pearl. Now, like I said at the beginning, there's a plan for a fourth film. According to Ty West, he said on February that he wanted to do a fourth film, but he was going to wait to see the reception of the film. Honestly, I think that there's a 50-50 chance that he's going to do it, or maybe not, because I have seen mixed reviews. The film right now has, as I am filming this, it has 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen, let me check. I haven't seen the audience score. I only saw the critics, but let's check right quick. So right now it's 78% by the critics, and whenever this thing wants to upload, whenever you want to, whoa, actually an 83. I am actually surprised. But like I said, I did not hate it. I didn't have a bad time. It's just definitely the weakest one of the three. I was expecting a little bit more. They could have done it better, but it's not awful, and it's not the worst film of the year. I do feel that this film indeed is going to make a huge division between the people that are going to love it and the people that are going to hate it. I do incline more, of course, into the people that like it, because like I said, I didn't hate the film. I feel that they could have done things better and differently. But on a general aspect, did I like the film? Yes, I did. What my boyfriend said is like, he didn't like the film, but he understood if I liked it, because he felt that you need to like this specific type of horror for you to enjoy it. And he's not wrong. I do feel that this film is not for everyone. I don't feel that every single person is going to enjoy it. There was one guy behind us. I am 99% sure that that guy didn't saw X and Pearl. I am pretty sure that he just arrived to the theater because he was free of work and he just saw that it was horror. He got himself into the movie theater because he was doing comments all along of how bad the film was and laughing when nothing was funny on the screen. And I was like, God damn, can you shut up? One guy asked him to shut up. And those type of things, they drive me nuts. But I could understand why there's people that are not going to like it. This is not the type of situation that you need to understand it to like it. But I do feel that not everyone is going to like it, because this is not the type of horror that everyone enjoys. So that's valid. So as a rating, I will give this film a 3.5 out of 5 and a 7 out of 10. I do not feel that the film is bad, but for me it's definitely the weakest of all three, and I feel that they could have closed this story way better. And do I feel that they need a fourth film? Absolutely not. Maybe if it is a spin-off, maybe something similar to Pearl that we had on the same universe but a different character, maybe they can do that and it's going to work. But at least MaXXXine, it wasn't what I was expecting. But 3.5 out of 5 and a 7 out of 10, I don't feel that that is that bad. I am not being harsh. I have seen very harsh reactions because I don't feel like it's necessary to be that harsh, to be honest. I don't feel that the film is the worst thing ever. I was expecting a little bit more, but with this, I end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below your thoughts. Right now, I think that what can save this year is going to be Longlegs. Let's hope that that one's going to be better. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Game over.